the weekend. I got to spend the weekend with Uncle Shaggy, Invader Shaggy One Percenter. It uh, was really, really, really cool down in New Orleans, where he was a featured speaker for the the PROC, the PROC convention, where you have all of these mostly African American clubs and social clubs that get together to learn MC protocol and those sorts of things. It's really kind of crazy. So that is what we're going to talk about, and we're going to talk about that uh, right after this.
Nothing tops your cut. Nothing tops your cut. Nothing tops your cut. Nothing.
Into the Black Dragon and listen to his knowledge. This is Biker 101, and he's professor to the college. Posting up videos on YouTube, coming directly to you, showing you the ins and outs of what not to do. He's truly a breed apart. Subscribe to his channel. Some try their best, but they don't match his candy. Don't believe me, it's cool. Tune in and hear him on truth. He's straight schooling you. His kids are the proof. He's filled with desire. He's filled with respect. He's filled with the fire. He always comes correct. Was 5 years to prospect. He didn't care about his label, but now he runs the Black Sabbath. Set in stone is his fable.
Black Sabbath forever, forever Black Sabbath.
Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny. Wow, man. Wow. It's good to have you guys. Let's bring Uncle Shaggy on. Here we go. Hey, man, what's up with you? Uh-oh. Let me unmute you. Here you go.
Oh, yeah. Living a dream, working on motorcycles and doing club shit. That's what we do.
Working on motorcycles and doing club shit. Man, welcome to the show, man. It's great to have you.
Glad to be here.
So, what? Okay. So, I see this, I see this small white guy in an all-white jacket down at the PROC talking. What was that like for you, man?
It was fun. I mean, I don't sweat too many situations. You know, when you see some of the horrific things we see in life, and you live and learn through time, and you know, gain some wisdom and learn how to conduct yourself in mixed crowds, or sometimes unwelcoming crowds. Man, they're gonna make me sweat, but I like to make them think they do. I have a blast at any time I get to do something like educate the next generation or the next group of folks that are going to take this over and give back to what's been given to me. And Thursday and Friday was kind of interesting. I went and sat in the middle of everybody. Nobody shake my hand. But people looking at me real funny. And Miss Fox, she had to come up and be like, "Hey, man, you know who's sitting over there?" And you know, everybody's like, It kind of loosened up a little bit, but not the whole crowd. It wasn't until Saturday after I spoke at the general session, people kind of calmed down a little bit. Realized I was there to help, and you know, I try to give what I've learned over the years the best advice I can, and you know, I'm just gonna say this out loud. Fuck those faggots.
So the PROC, for people who don't know, I haven't been coughing all day. Now all of a sudden, I want to.
Do I make you nervous? Do I scare you? I mean, you know, you submariners. I know submariners.
That's submariners. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Don't start talking about CBs. We're not going to do that. It'll be ugly. But no. I tell you something. For those who don't know, the PROC is it's actually be 20 years old, I believe, next year. And it's a conference where I first got my notoriety, as I would say. They gave me an opportunity to speak, I think, for the first time in 2016 or 2017. And it was from that that Black Dragon Biker TV launched, and it was from my speaking. They kind of made they gave me a platform that really kind of spread my name. So it was very interesting to be there and be a speaker there among a lot of great people like OG Weasel, which is OG Weasel supposed to be on the phone tonight. He's on the car, but his phone was acting real janky. But we'll see if we can't get him. So it was just so cool to do that. And what happens is you have all these people that come from all over the United States, from all of these major and not so major black biker clubs, mostly black biker clubs, and mixed race biker clubs that operate on the black biker club set. And they come together to learn MC protocol and learn things like how to have a clubhouse and how to be a 501c, just all these how-to classes. So it's a 3-day long convention, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and everybody goes home Sunday morning, I believe, after a breakfast or something. And it is.
We didn't make the breakfast.
And it's
We got
almost
on the road early.
Yeah, you guys did. And it's almost 20 years old, this thing, and it's where a lot of clubs have gotten gotten their start, where we can learn how to do this correctly. So I guess this is not your first time speaking there. So how did they find you? And what was it that you had to give, and how did you feel about that?
Well, the first time I spoke was in 2018 in St. Louis. And I was under the impression when I originally wrote out there with my sergeant at arms that I was going to be speaking about COC and INCOM and the motorcycle profiling project. What I come to realize pretty quickly after about sitting in this meeting for about an hour or so, 2 hours, the questions I was hearing from the president, the vice president crowd was kind of baffling to me. Like, I really didn't understand how a crowd of full patch members that are in such high prestigious positions, the president being the most thankless job in the club, and the vice president being sometimes thought of as the most useless job, but one of the most important jobs as much as the presidency is. And these guys are supposed to be, your leaders, and they don't know history. They don't know how, to do things that we teach prospects. And I start kind of like wiggling around in my chair, and one of the PROC board members says, "It looks like Shaggy's got something to say," because I was introduced when I came in by one of the Black Dominant clubs that had asked me to come up there, and so everybody kind of knew my name when I came to sit down. I mean, Shaggy's kind of really hard to. It's not a unique name, but it's a pretty unique name, but I got up and I literally told these people, I said, "You guys are the leaders. You guys should have the knowledge. You guys should have be the teachers and the mentors of your people. You guys should be the forefront of your clubs." And I didn't realize then that the clubs were so young. They didn't have any elders. Well, this time around, I took more time because it was a last minute thing in 2018. This time I had 2.5 days before the convention actually kicked off with the education portion of it, of listening and talking with people and learning from them. That a lot of the problem is the lack of educators and mentors, because the 99% side is so young in their club history. 15, 16 years in a club, that's not very old. 30 years is kind of doing something, but when you're in a club that's pushing 40, 50, 60, 70, however old, then you got a lot of elders. Your club's done something. It's been around. You got some good stories and shit. A lot of these guys just had no idea on club structure, had no idea on what they could and couldn't do. And this year I was a little more prepared. I literally said what I meant, and I said what I wrote down, and And I ad-libbed at one point, which the videos they put out, they did take it out, which, I don't care if they put it in or put it out. I wouldn't do anything to hurt the PROC, but, um, you know, there are some subjects, if I'm asked about, I try to avoid, and I really tried to avoid that subject, and kind of felt like the hand was pushed. Well, I'm going to say what needs to be said because I'm going to do what it takes to protect this lifestyle. And certain factions in this world don't belong here. In a world of men and women that are revolve a lifestyle around respect and a motorcycle. And it's you're going to come here and make a laughing stock of something that I've lived my whole life and I truly believe in, and others have died for and have gone to prison for. You know, I can be funny about it or I can be hateful about it, but the fact of the matter is there's certain people ain't welcome here. Period.
Right.
Top clubs and certain alternative lifestyles.
And so that was part of your message.
That was part of my message, and the message was the very first time I spoke in the General Assembly was about getting back to the basics. Riding your motorcycle, flying your colors, loving your brothers unconditionally. Doing for your club, prospecting, background checks. Be proud of your club. If you're not a support club and you've been sanctioned, do your own thing, man. Quit fucking blaming everything on the dominant. It's not the dominant. Think of it this way: you're a national club, and you should know you're a national president. If you ask national to get in your business, and you're constantly jumping the chain of command, and you're pissing, moaning, whining, crying all the time to the national is sick of it, and eventually they're going to get involved. Well, when they get involved, they're going to do things their way, not your way, and they're going to come here and handle business, and you're not going to like it, and it's going to be painful, it's going to be rough, you're going to be miserable, and then they're going to make you take care of them while they're down there and party with them and all shit like that, or you got a sourpuss look on your face. Hey, been there, done that. It sucks. It's the same thing on the motorcycle 1% side. If you get the 1%ers involved in your shit all the time, they're going to be involved in your shit. You're not going to like how they're doing stuff. You're going to disagree with everything they're saying, but you're going to do it because you fear the repercussions because you involved them in your club's business and they're going to handle business. And part of what I did on that Thursday and Friday was listen to folks talk. And the first question I asked when I got down there and spoke, or one of the first questions I asked was, how many support clubs are here? Because I had a clear-cut message for the support clubs. And I only seen about 3-4 hands raised. And I thought, well, damn, that's awful odd. Because it seemed like I saw a lot more support patches than what was raising it. So maybe those guys were just there for the party, like I kept hearing, right? And what the message was going to be for them, which I didn't get to say because none of them were in there, was if you're in a sport club, shut up, do what you're told. You chose to be a sport club. If you don't like it, step up or step out. That's the way it goes. But all those clubs were independent, in a sense, had been sanctioned by the 1%ers. Man, do your thing. But follow the rules in the sandbox. Do your thing. The clear message I really wanted to send is about this motorcycle count. You don't have 100%, everybody in your club having a motorcycle. To the guy who's hanging around with the club, don't let him around your goddamn club. It's a motorcycle club, right? Or it's a riding club. You have to have something to ride. I don't care if you show up with a 650cc fucking donkey. You better be riding something.
A 650cc donkey. I'd love to see that.
That'd be pretty badass, man. That thing's made a little bit too many burritos.
Listen, we have OG Weasel on the phone. He'll be OG. Say something. Can you guys hear him?
Yeah, I think you should be able to hear me. We should be good now.
Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah, stayed in New Jersey. I came all the way down to New Orleans to see you and hang out with you. But hey, you stayed in New Jersey. That's all right, man. You East Coast guys are like that.
OJ,
I had some mafia hit. I had some mafia hit to take care of. I get it. Business is business.
Let me say this much. I wasn't 100% concrete, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I will accept any invitation to your home state, and we can go throw a couple back when the time comes. So I can make sure I get sports and come out there, and we can do what bikers do, all right? And I'll get the whole club around on me, a couple rounds.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, man. I wouldn't make that promise, not even publicly, man. My brothers can. I don't know where they put it, because I don't drink anymore. I drink maybe 1 or 2 beers, but I worked in nationals, or actually several nationals as a prospect, and I'm telling you right now, we wiped out store after store after store. I got tired of carrying cases of beer, and I have no idea where it went to. So you might want to come out with a truckload of money if you're going to try to keep that promise. My brothers can put some shit down. They love the party.
Well, that's called doing what bikers do. So that's the norm. That means they do what we're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but let me tell you this, Shaq. I gotta say that you hit. I just jumped on a minute ago, and it was nice to hear you hit already on some good points. And the first point you hit on that I loved was that a lot of these clubs don't have any elders. You know, and like you said, if you looked around that room and you really saw who was there, you know, you didn't see too many. You probably didn't see too many graybeards. It's nothing wrong with it. But the question we have to ask ourselves is, why are we not seeing these people? And if they are there in the community. And the other question, why did they step away from, you know, what we all love? And from what I see, what's happening is that there's so much. I don't want to say the F word, but there's so much nonsense happening on the set that the older brothers that have that knowledge, that have been around these clubs, that can teach these new riders, is they just got to the point where they're frustrated because there's not a sense of seriousness associated with what we're doing. Like the ownership that we once had, you know, and the pride that we had, that the brothers had, like yourself, Dragon and myself, we had pride. We took ownership of the set. We took ownership of our clubs, and we had, we just took ownership of being a biker, and with that came a different mentality. And I think that we got a different type of biker these days, and that's kind of part of this problem that we have in holding on to the older brothers, because they don't want to be part of that because they don't see the same thing that we saw years ago, So
right. Well, you hit it there too. I hope that I portrayed exactly what you just said when I spoke. I mean, there's 2 videos on TikTok of me speaking. And that pride was there, that passion was there. I live with it every day. I eat it, breathe it, shit it, the whole sleep it, the whole 9 yards. This is my lifestyle. I could talk about it for hours and hours and days and days and days, and I don't need a PowerPoint in front of me to talk about how I live. I don't need a PowerPoint in front of me to tell you how to do it, because man, I've been doing this for so long. It's like knowing the back of my hand, and I hope that the people that saw me saw that pride, man. I was proud to tell them I was an invader. I was proud to tell them I was a 1%. I was proud to tell them that I earned it. I was proud to tell them that I prospected not once but twice, both times for a year. And I was proud to say that I was a part of a community where I had to earn my way. I had to earn my title. I had to earn my patches. I had to earn every single step that I've taken, to the point of today where I'm asked to guest speak at an all-black convention not once but twice now. All that comes with time, and it all comes with having good people around you.
Not all black. Your ass was there.
Well, no, there was a couple white guys there, and I was kind of surprised about that, man, because I'm getting older and I keep losing my hair. And when I see young long-haired dudes, I get mad because I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna be bald before too long, and these guys still wearing ponytails.
Hey, but Shaggy, you're a different type of white. That's what it is. So.
Yeah, that's right. I'm from St. Louis, man. I mean, we blend in wherever we go.
It's so good. But let me say this about the whole PROC situation, all right? I'm going to give you full disclosure and keep it 100. Years ago, when this thing first came out, I'm going to be honest that I wasn't feeling the concept of it. And I know Butter and I know Foxy, and we go back years and years and years. And it took a minute for me to embrace what was happening and the mindset behind it. Then when it finally hit on me that, what the true purpose was about education, and I saw it for what it really was, which was a platform to get people, together and away from the party and everything else. I kept thinking about the platform. So anytime that you can bring that many bikers together, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And if you got the right brothers delivering the message, it makes a good thing better. So I think that, as events like that progress and you got real brothers who's up on there talking about the lifestyle, I think the real message will get out there. Now, the thing is, as an audience member, as be it a show, whatever it is, you have to know who's talking to you. Like, you can't believe everybody that you meet, and just because they got a voice don't mean they know what they're talking about. You got a lot of wannabes, a lot of so-called protocol guides, and I know right now for sure there's 2 major pages out there right now where you got some straight up clowns preaching the gospel. You know what I'm saying? Some cats that you probably never met, but they got a lot to say about the lifestyle, and basically these are the same people that you don't see in the streets.
you know their name because they took about 5 or 6 pictures with some other people, but you never see them in the streets doing what we do. But we are quick.
They're the guys that didn't put the time in, but all of a sudden they put 5 minutes in and they know everything that there is to know about it. I'm at 23 years, man, and I'm learning something new every day.
Absolutely. But you know what? Here's the problem, right? Now you got a lot of new cats coming to the set. Everybody's looking for a Batman, if that makes sense. And I thought about this years ago. I said everybody's looking for somebody that they can gravitate to. So if I come to you and tell you I'm Batman, and if I keep saying that long enough, you're going to believe it. Then all of a sudden, I just became the protocol guide, and that's what I've watched happen over and over. And younger minds are gravitating to these people. And my thing is, if you're just going to Google and getting this information based upon research and everything else, I applaud you for researching it, but I can't respect you for not living it.
Well, so I'll stop you right there because I made a very good point about that during something I was talking about. And one of those things I was talking about is don't go by everything that's on Google. Don't go by everything that's on YouTube. Don't go by everything that's on these books that you read. But go and meet these elders. Like if your club don't have any elders, man, and say you're in, say you're in Sin City's area or Outcast area, or you run into some old Angels or Outlaws or Vagos or the big name clubs that have been around forever, and you see them old graybeards out there, man. I'm here to tell you just from personal experience. Those guys love telling them old stories and teaching young cats, and a lot of them guys really ain't racist like they. They're really cool guys, and they really love this lifestyle. They've been living it their whole life. I tell them go out there and quit blaming the DOMs for not teaching you. Well, first off, it's your club's responsibility to teach you. If the DOMs have to teach you, like I said in the beginning, you're not going to be fucking happy. So then, go out there and don't be afraid to shake these men's hand and show them some respect. You'll be surprised what you get back from them. Those guys that taught me over the years, black, white, old, been in the lifestyle for a minute. There's always something you can learn from somebody, but you got to go out there and do it. Quit Googling everything. This lifestyle is about experience. That's how you get the respect. That's how you get that dirt on your cut. I mean, I remember back in the day that nobody gave a shit what a cut looked like. That was your story, man. The dirtier, the better. That some bitch was falling off you, man. That guy must have 1,000,000 miles because he's only got about 2 strings holding everything on, And then everybody cleaned everything up, and fuck, you don't know who's what now. And then you had the what I call the midlife crisis crew, where we went about 10 years, where the average prospect was 35 to 45 and up. And so the crowd I was in at PROC, a lot of them were graybeards, but they weren't graybeards in the sense that we're graybeards. And that's kind of screwed some things up. And while I'm here too, one of the things that I wanted to point out, and Prophets, got up there and spoke. And, I complimented him because I did read his book and was pretty impressed with some of the things he said in his book, and it's very intelligently written. But there was a club there that came up to me in Prophet, and they were telling us that they were the actual oldest black, mixed, mainly black, MC that was started in 1946. I'd never heard of that, and I've done a bunch of research, and they were great guys to talk to. I haven't actually. I'm glad you asked that because I have it written down. And I got their phone number, and I'm going to get in touch with them, and I'm going to write an article on them. And they have one member that's left. He's 80 years old, and he's from back in the day. And man, it was so cool to meet them guys. And
damn, 1946. I don't know about this club.
The State Burners MC in 1946, oldest historically black club, started in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I do know about them. Yes,
and highly respected at that. A lot of those brothers over there. Good brothers, a very stable club, respectful, traditional MC.
I didn't realize they'd been around since 1946, however.
Hey, here's what I thought was cool. They were both wearing St. Louis Cardinal stuff, so anytime they're wearing St. Louis, I don't care where they're from. They're all right by me.
Yeah, but let's go back to the topic about where you're getting it down from the brothers speaking. I'm gonna support this with some facts here. Okay, so. Let's go back dragging a couple years to when we met, and then Foxy came to me and she said, listen, Weasel, I want you to speak at the PROC. And I was like, all right, well, if I'm speaking, either I got to be the keynote or right behind that person. Because, I want to make certain that, when I'm speaking with brothers with like minds. So she said, well, Black Dragon is coming on. And Black Dragon, the media king. I haven't met the brother yet back then. So I had to research who Black Dragon was. And when I found out, I was like, man, this brother's like Jesus on the set. So I'm looking his brother up and everything else, man, and I'll tell him, and I'll admit it as a brother that at first, before we had met and shook hands on that stage, that I was intimidated that Black Dragon was going to be in the same seat I was, you know, knowing that the brother had a very robust background like myself. So it made it hard to bring the message before the time came, you know, to get everything together and having that peer pressure kick in. But at the same time, it felt good knowing that there were real brothers out there that was willing to come to the table, that were validated, that's been in this, that was respected, and not just respected as a keyboard biker, but the brothers that really been out there on the black, you know, doing what we do and established. And my
Hey
point
man, I know that pressure. I had to go after profit.
yeah, so you know what I'm saying, how it is, and
Absolutely.
you got to get up there and speak with or behind these people. So
you faked it pretty good, because this is the first time you've ever told me that.
OG
Weasel.
brother, man.
Well, you know what just happened, OG Weasel? He's going to be stuck in his chair for the next day. His head's so damn swollen. He's going to be able to get them cans off his head, because they'll be like wedged on there.
My head is this.
Poor T's got a night ahead of her.
Nah, I got a knife to get something.
My head's this big right now. Thank you.
I got some air to get. I got a knife to get out there and get that out for you, man. But my point, man, is that you got some really thorough brothers out there. So if you're a biker and you truthfully aspiring to get some real knowledge, like, you got to align yourself, especially if you go into these conventions. You know, a lot of people go to these conventions and they quick to gravitate to any and everybody, because what I found out is that people are very thirsty. And you know the brother I'm talking about, the ones that come to you, yo, they tell me they want everything in one day.
Right.
They want to shortcut the lifestyle. They want every question, and they want to bombard you. They in your inbox. They texting you. They just thirsty for this. And it's like, listen, bro, there's nothing like getting it firsthand. It's good to hear and listen, but it's nothing like getting it firsthand and you going out there and being on the streets and validating everything for yourself. Like, I love to hear what people got to say, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe shit till I see it myself. Contrary to whoever it is, if I'm not on the streets and I'm seeing it myself, then it's just hearsay, you know. And in terms of you getting knowledge is nothing but something you heard until you live it for yourself. And that's just how I feel about anything that I learned that's too well, so to speak, you know?
Right.
So, but I mean, I encourage people, like you were saying, Shaggy, is that you got to make these contacts. If you out there in the streets and you at those gas stations, like if you're on the road, you cannot tell me that a brother that's a diamond holder and he's in his state and he see you coming through and he sees that out-of-state plate. Biker to biker, we know that you're on the road. So that's an instant respect thing. If I see anybody that's in my state that's on the road, like, that's a conversation avenue right there that you can open up or that may come to you. And you got to see that as an opportunity, no matter who it is. And sometimes you got to look behind that diamond that you're looking at. You got to look at that brother as a biker. And I think a lot of times, you know, we let the diamond intimidate us. You know, you got to respect it, but at the same time, realize this is yet another biker. And we got this common platform right here. We can talk about that.
Well, and I talked about that at PROC when I said, you know, I took Thursday and Friday and I purposely, you know, got there Thursday night. Me and the wife got everything set in the hotel, and she decided she wanted to stay back and rest after the trip. And I said, well, you know, I'm gonna go over here and get our wristbands and see Foxy and let her know that I'm here. And so I got down to the bar, and it was fucking packed. God damn! I mean, it was gut to butt, that place. So I went and sat in the middle of everybody, and I sat at the bar, and I had a couple beers, and
it was something to see. That
it was,
and
guy
down
impressive.
there, you know, all them brothers, he was surrounded. I said, go on ahead, Shaggy, do your thing, bro.
And, you know, I looked around and I could feel people watching me, and I thrive off shit like that, you know. Call it being in some pretty bad shit in the military, but, you know, that's my adrenaline. You know, you can only go 120 mile an hour for so long before your heart rate goes down and it feels like a normal ride. Well, I'm sitting in there and I'm waiting, and finally, and I even throw his name out there because I love the young man. He's great. The mayor walked by, and Foxy goes, you know, we're looking at each other like, hey, he looks familiar, and he, you know, the mayor's saying he's looking familiar. So Foxy goes, hey man, you just say something to, you know, that Invader sit right there. You know, he's 1%er. He come all the way down here, and he's like, you Shaggy? And I'm like, yeah. And we shook hands. We started talking, and him and I spend most of Thursday night hanging out together. And Foxy was getting guys as he would walk by and just kind of like ignore me. They looked like I had the plague or something. But then Friday, I kind of walked around. Well, then I had a security guard that kept fucking with me, wouldn't leave me alone. And then I had a cop follow me around for a little while, and it was fucking great. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, I'm the only white guy in here, and the cops are, and the rent cops are screwing with me. So I started screwing with them back. One of them went and put knockout gloves on, and I was like, all right, man, we're gonna have a good time. I got a pair of brass knuckles. I'm about to beat your big ass. You want to do this? Let's do this. Well, then he was really following me around. Well, that started getting everybody's attention. Like, man, what the hell is going on over there? I tell Big Bone, I was like, man, this goddamn cop won't leave me alone. Well, then I went and sat down again, and people were just really not knowing what to say or do. I thought to myself, man, when I did this 5 years ago, fuck, it just seemed like it took an hour to get inside the door. Everybody's shaking hands, everybody wanted to talk to you like you were saying. And I thought, oh, well, I know what it is. I remember my first time meeting Invader too. That brother scared the living shit out of me. Of course, I'm probably pretty intimidating. They're seeing the SS Lightning Bolt. But the one thing I do want to acknowledge is a young man in a club, and I can't remember the name of his club because I never got to see his patch because he was actually a man about and very respectful how he asked me about my bandana that I had hanging out my back pocket, which is my white bandana with the SS Bolt diamond. And he said, man, can I ask you a question? And I said, sure. Now, this is the definition of how things are supposed to go on the MC community. That's why I'm so proud of that young man, why I want to mention it. He said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but could you please tell me what that symbol means to you? And I kind of reversed it on him, played a little psychology on him. I wasn't going to go full mud check because I know he's just trying to learn. So I was like, well, what does it mean to you? And I said, let me guess, it's a symbol of hate and this and that. I said, it is a symbol of hate. I fucking hate everybody. I want them to stay away. And they also mean something with, especially with the white side. And there's black side, guys that wear their bolts too. And they're earned in a biker's way type of thing. It's different than the, white power fucking skinheads and shit like that. But, I told them, I said, what I've done to earn mine is none of your business. We don't talk about it. I said, and what it symbolizes and means to me is it's a symbol that tells you that I don't want somebody who's not you. You're a biker. Everybody around behind you that are mom and pop and the today's society that don't understand why I'm even wearing the vest I'm wearing. I have no use for them. That's what it means. And the young man, I think, walked away educated. Shook my hand. I shook his president's hand. I was standing next to him, and he was, the way he approached it, how respectful he was, man, that's the future of our lifestyle right there. That's being a man. That's taking an uncomfortable conversation and not knowing where it could have gone. I mean, some of the guys I know that wear those flat out tell you ain't none of your fucking business. And if you ever ask about it again, you'll find out real quickly how I earned it or some shit like that, and then there's the prison mentality. I explained that to him too. As 1%ers, we're labeled as domestic terrorists. So at any given time, I've been told that the feds have on any given time on any 1% club, there's an current investigation going all the time. And so at any given time, my door could be kicked in and I could be arrested, put in jail. Well, once you get in jail, you're under a whole different set of politics. You're under a whole different set of rules. You can't just go in there and put bolts and swastikas on and go around yell the N-word and think you're the biggest, baddest son of a bitch in there, because you're going to find out really quickly that you ain't shit. And you better be able to explain what you have tattooed on you. You better be able to explain what you represent. And I've been told how the bikers do each other in there, which is pretty respectful. But when the prison rules are enforced, like when shit pops off, you better be on the right side of right, or you're gonna get fucked up, type of thing. And bikers got to understand we have to follow those rules on the outside too, in a sense to where that life of chance for a breath of freedom that we live every single day could easily put us in a 10, 15, 20 life sentence. And once we leave the streets, we're in a whole different arena that isn't ours. So kudos on that young man.
Let me say
I
one
wish I
thing.
could remember his name.
I wish you did as well, because that's definitely worth some recognition. But let me say this one thing. The SS Bald Shag, that was a great thing that you said that you hate everybody, but I want people to understand that a lot of times everybody that wears that is going to have their own definition of what it means to them.
That's right.
You know, so don't get it twisted. Don't say that Shaggy said. That's Shaggy's personal feeling, because some people.
Well, so let me clarify something too, as you say that, because check this out. What I said in PROC is I hate everybody outside of being a biker. I love the bikers. I love my brothers. I love my brothers from other clubs, and I can sit there and talk with them for days because we have something in common. I have nothing in common with anybody outside of the realm of bikers. So when I say I hate everybody outside of this community.
Yeah, because I thought you liked me, but I don't know.
Well, I mean that's still up for question.
Shaggy, so I gotta say it was a pleasure meeting you and Big Bone. Big Bone was there. I didn't know that mother effer was so damn tall.
Hey, he got me beat or what? He got me beat, Dragon?
He got you beat.
I don't know. I think we got to be close together there.
Well, we're all close together. You're 6'6". Are you 6'6"?
6'6", 290, bro.
Are you taller than I am? I don't.
Well, you be wearing heels. So I don't know.
Man. Heels. Those are cowboy boots. Those are cowboy boots, bro.
Hey, my son stands flat-footed with no shoes on, 6'7", 345 pounds.
So there you go. Well, OG Weasel wants us to know he's in shape. 6'6", 290. 6'6", 290.
Man, that's McDonald's right there, man. That's all that is.
I was gonna say, you're a truck driver, ain't you? You're shape, all right. Called round.
Yeah, I'm a lot of things. But the week it is.
No, but Bone is tall as hell.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd be able to look down on him like I do. What's up, Bone? 1%er. What's up? It was kind of like, oh, what's up? I mean, I'm not sure which one of us is taller. I didn't have my cowboy boots on.
That's funny.
But he's pretty tall. And I got to meet Shaggy. Shaggy has a beautiful wife. I don't know what the hell. Shaggy, man, he married up, man.
Good stuff.
I don't know what the hell she sees in his ass.
I have a very nice motorcycle because everything else she don't like.
That'll do it every time. But let me say this about
22 and a half years.
Yeah. There you go. Good stuff. And she loves you as you are, as being a biker. You got a woman.
Oh, trust me. She loves me, but I'm not so sure as I am.
Yeah. As you are, no doubt about it. But let me speak about this color thing real quick, man. A lot of people, and it's crazy, is that a lot of people still haven't, on the set, have not got beyond that color boundary. We got a lot of brothers that's, I wouldn't say scared, but doesn't take an interest in somewhat venturing across that, get across that line. And let me tell you something, man. I've had my best times in places I shouldn't have been. Going to Laconia, which is straight up 81 party weekend after Americade. We would hit Americade, then we would roll up to Laconia. And then if you know Laconia, that's the 81 area, and that's basically what's up there. And you have
and Laconia is one way in and one way out.
So you know how it is. So it's definitely a unique situation if you know what it is. And it was nothing like this saying, you know what, man, this is what we doing. We going up here, and this is what it is. If we going to Daytona Bike Week, it's good to be on Main Street, but let's get out of the city and go hit one of these swap meets. And there's been times that we've been the only brothers walking around. It's like, so what? Like, we doing the same thing you doing, and it's me today, and probably it's going to be 3 more tomorrow. And that's what it takes. That, I wouldn't say forced migration, but it got to take that, so what? I don't care. We all bikers. I'm going to go over here and see what y'all doing. And let me tell you, the amount of relationships that I've made over the years that people get beyond the black and white, like, it's incredible how you can grow yourself in the life, because we all do things slightly different. So it's good to see both sides of the fence. But you got the black side, you got the white side, and it's just like you get to the point that that color thing doesn't exist at all. And that's the point that you want to get yourself to, that you just seeing a person as a biker. Like you said, when we get together, it's instant love, because you've been chopping it up, or if it's on Facebook or whatever it is, and y'all be talking on the back end. And when you get together, it doesn't exist. Like Shaggy said, I was looking forward to meeting you. And even though we didn't get that off this time, but instant embracement, simply because we both love the same thing. And it wasn't no thought about you black, I'm white, I'm green. So what? We love the same.
That was part of my big message when I spoke in the general session. Part of my mission for going out there was to speak about that because that's something that me and a few others have been working on for the last 7, 8 years, trying to, not necessarily integrate the clubs because you still got to keep somewhat of the prison mentality, but
Yeah.
integrate the clubs in the aspect of breaking the barriers down. There's no reason why we can't party together. There's no reason why we can't be a part of organizations like INCOM and the NCOC and the state COCs and these local MROs, because the fact of the matter is, and I said it very clearly and very plainly at the PROC convention general session meeting, which is cops don't give a shit what color you are when they pull you over and you're wearing a patch. They think they got themselves a big time drug dealer or somebody, who's a criminal, and they're going to do what they can to put them in prison because they're gang members, and that's the way they look at us. They don't care about the skin color. They got a gang member. That's all they care about. And so, and it's also 2023. We're the last society that's still segregated so heavily like we are. And a lot of it's because of a bunch of people are just uneducated and don't realize that for the most part, the biker community wasn't as heavily segregated as it is now in the beginning, man. The clubs were integrated. There's proof of it. There's pictures of it. There's stories of it. And, we're past the 1965 Civil Rights Bill. We're past a lot of the shit in the 70s. We were definitely out of the 80s. That was my time. The 90s came and gone. Racism went away, and from what I've been able to find with history, it goes away until a significant incident happens, and all of a sudden everybody's racist again, and the media pots it all up. Well, people need to understand, and one of the other things that I talked about was culture. A lot of things I've heard growing up, and people that I'm real close with that are on the black side will say, look, man, our families came over here as slaves. We don't know our culture. We don't know our family history and background, to the old country or whatever, that none of that's documented. And my mind, and one of the messages that I put out at PROC was, hey, you do have a culture. You have the same fucking culture I have. You have the culture of, in 1896, where the first motorcycle was built for the Swiss Army, and it was distributed in 1899. 1899, the first motorcycle club was created in London, England, still called the Motorcycle Club.
1866, first motorcycle.
1896.
No, my brother. 1866 was made by a guy in Germany. It was a steam generated motorcycle. Yeah.
Really? I have to look that up because I was corrected by Dibber about that one.
Well, Dibber don't know.
Swiss. 1866
is the first motorcycle. It was made by a guy. No, not in Germany. Actually, the guy was from France. It was a steam powered motorcycle. And
man, you cannot give that to France. That's why we don't recognize it. What have you done here to this show? We don't talk about the French.
I'm just trying
we got to do everything for them. Now they're going to try to take our. No, they're okay. That's not part of our culture. Whoever's listening to that, Black Dragon's high. He's been eating mushrooms.
You can't just hate on them because they made the first motorcycle. Man.
I most certainly can. They didn't make shit. They got an some cowboy was over there. I don't believe that. Man, come on. I ain't giving the French that kind of thing over me. No way. Ain't happening.
The first motorcycle.
I'll look that up. That's pretty cool.
Now, the first combustion engine motorcycle was made in 1885 by Daimler Reitwagen. It was called the Daimler Reitwagen, and it was made by Daimler and another dude, Gottlieb, I believe, Diamond and Gottlieb.
I was told, but like 1896, the first one was made by a Swiss Condor. I guess for the Swiss, and it was actually reproduced for their military.
Well, now you're talking about the first production motorcycle now. So that when you say first motorcycle, my friend, you have to
also first motorcycle.
No.
I'll take that shit out.
Yeah, you can't. This is Black Dragon, okay, my friend.
Well, this is Shaggy, and I'm stubborn as fuck until I find it. My truth is true.
Black Jesus. So
Black Jesus. Look, the old lady must not be around, and you must not have been fluffed today. So, your brother's trying to be his brother's keeper, and he's fucked your ass up so damn bad you ain't gonna get out of that chair now. That poor dog got to go to the bathroom, had to piss on the floor because you can't move.
I'm just telling you the history of motorcycles. I have to be
I live
mistreated.
straight. This is biker shit. We'll argue over anything, especially when it comes to motorcycles.
The first motorcycle that appeared in the United States. Well, the first motorcycle.
He's got Google. My Wi-Fi's down. You pull up Google. That's not right.
I'm not pulling up Google. I'm pulling up. You know what?
How about those Knicks, huh? Anyway,
Yeah.
But let me tell you something.
Well, okay, let's get back to culture. So part of my thing was talking to these to the PROC, explaining that bikers all have the same culture. Your race doesn't matter.
Right.
Just because you don't know it, well, a bunch of us are here to teach you some of it. And like you said, about the everybody wants to know everything at once. Look, we don't have no time in the day to even kind of remember some of that shit. It comes in spurts. Like something will happen and boom, oh yeah, I remember that. We couldn't give a how-to in a day anyway. I mean, this lifestyle is so complex and so simple at the same time, but everything's learned and educated through time. You never learn nothing overnight in one sitting, at least. Like we'll be debating about the first motorcycle 100 years from now. Like, yeah, Black Dragon and Shaggy were both wrong. The aliens came during the Egyptian days, and then them men with the dog masks on, man, they actually rode around on Jedi fucking them floating things. The ones that I want to be, the future motorcycles. Yeah.
All right, well, let me test you real quick, Black Dragon, all right? Because I wrote some crazy shit years ago, and it was a JAWA 125cc. Now, if you can speak to that, I'll tip my lid to you any day. If you don't know about the JAWA 125, go look it up. Then we can talk later on offline.
Well, how are you going to talk to me crazy? I know everything. Okay.
Anyway,
I know all about the JAWA.
Yeah, it's in the fucking book. I sold 6 books for him, so I can say this now. Buy the fucking book.
There we go. But getting back on track here, man.
I mean, that's an Indian motorcycle. It comes from India, by the way.
A JAWA?
Yeah.
A JAWA.
I thought it came from the Ewok.
With a flip shifter on it. The shifter flips over and it has a multiple purpose. You take that thing, you flip the shifter over, and it's the dual purpose. So I've never seen nothing like that. It's definitely a different beast, and this is going back
because it comes from
JAWA
years ago.
They come from
No,
India.
JAWA.
JAWA.
Okay, so I figured. What is it again? A JAWA what?
The JAWA 125cc.
125cc.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up because that flipping the shifter thing, that sounds fun, cool to me. That sounds like some chopper shit there.
It's in India.
It's like,
in India, they ride.
shifter stuff.
In India, they have those little 125s. That's the thing. That's what you get down on.
Dude, they've got 20 billion fucking people over there.
There you
Between
go.
them and China, Jesus Christ. They blame the Americans for taking everything, but them people need to quit fucking.
All right, but it's
Oh wow! You know what? I'm not going there with you today, Shaggy. No, sir.
But getting back on track, let me double back to something that Shaggy said, and this was something I think people need to listen to. Is that he was talking about the way that the brother had approached you, and a lot of times you don't realize when you're out there and you're trying to align yourself with people, your approach to brothers has to be, I wouldn't say you don't want to overthink it, but you want to think about how you're approaching these brothers, because one, you don't know these dudes. 2, you may come off as a threat. So you coming off the wrong way, and you seem like a lot of people come up with, they seem thirsty. They just want to bombard you with all this stuff. And like, let me tell you something, you have to earn the right for a brother to want to purge anything to you without knowing you. Nothing comes to you for free. There's a cost, be it your time, be it an investment in a couple of rounds or whatever it is. Don't think that, okay, well, they owe you something in terms of a conversation or anything. You want to really be respectful in how you approach people and think about it. Like you said, if you're walking up to a crowd, you may get checked on that, because if you walk into the wrong crowd and you break that circle of brothers, that can end up getting you jammed up, and you was just on some regular, I'm trying to, meet this particular person, and you don't know what that situation is. So think about how you are approaching brothers and think about how you want to create that situation. If the opportunity doesn't present itself, what can you do to get to that person, if that makes sense?
Well, you could tell the young man was real nervous, but you could also tell that the symbol really bothered him deeply. Like you could kind of feel the hate come off of him, and he was trying to contain himself because he didn't know how he was going to react to it. But he did also know that I'm a professional, and I know how it looks outwardly, and I know how it's taken by the uneducated in our lifestyle. And I responded to him in a manner which I don't think he expected. I think he expected me to pretty much go tell him to go fly a kite, and I did. And I sat there and I educated him on it, which is why I came down to New Orleans.
That happened to me in 2000 in Madera, California. I met my first Hell's Angel, and he came to the 2000 National Black Roundup, and I had my magazine then, Black Iron Motorcycle Magazine, and he came there to talk about all clubs banding together to I believe this might have been the beginning of when the Mongols were going through their thing, when that took all those decades, and we've seen it as it has expanded.
The Mongols thing started 2000. Black Rain was 2008, so I think it was 2012 is when they started on the Sage patch.
So this is, he had come to talk to he'd come to the Roundup, which is another all black or mostly black event. And so I was a little magazine editor, and I just attacked that guy, and he was so professional and so patient. And after I got through talking to him, I felt like a fool. At some point he was like, dude, I just ride motorcycles and have a fun. What is all the shit you're on? And it was basically some, a lot of stuff that I had heard. I'd never met one of those guys, or even really had ever really even seen one. And so I this is what I say, and I said this in a TikTok the other day, because this one ex-cop is going around making these making all this money off of the pagans and their patch, and he was implanted in the pagans, and he sold a book called Riding with Evil, and he also he just did a show or something where they had the pagans, the most racist club in America. And when you see stuff like that, I'd say it's like going into a motorcycle club. If you go to my motorcycle club, there will be people that will say, and this is my own club, Black Dragon is the worst damn thing that ever hit this club. He's a rotten piece of garbage. And so I might meet a young guy that came in the club, and he's going to believe and listen to the people that brought him in the club. I'm in Georgia. He could be in Canada somewhere. And he's going to believe those guys in that chapter. And I'll meet that guy, and he's staring at me mean. You! And I've never met this guy a day in my life, never rode with him, never screwed his old lady. I've not done anything to him, but he's all hyped up by what somebody who didn't like me, who maybe I screwed his old lady, but somebody who didn't like me has taught him about me. So what I tell folks is, until you can experience something or someone for yourself, or spend enough time around them, or something to get an opinion about those people, or that person, or that motorcycle club, or that group, or whatever, because your grandfather's experience was his experience, your best friend's experience was his experience, your woman's experience, whoever's experience was their experience, until you get an experience of your own. Because if you see Shaggy and you see him adorned in his colors, you may be like, that guy's wearing the most race-hated stuff out. When you get to meet him and you spend some time with him and you pick up the phone and you call, you got to understand, people want to put labels on everything they see. Labels make us comfortable. Labels make us, labels allow us to think about people the way we want to think about them. They're effed up. They got stars on their bellies. Those are star belly sneeches. They're messed up. These guys are okay. They don't have any stars on there. And so we can just put people in categories and labels, and we can be lazy. We don't have to meet anybody. We don't have to get to know anybody. We can just hate people immediately when we see these people. But it takes time, effort, consideration, and thought, patience to sit down. And sometimes it takes nuts to walk up to a guy and say, okay, so what do those symbols mean to you? And why are you wearing them? And I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I just want to know. And in that way, when you do that, you make a friend. A lot of people will see 1%ers. They see that diamond on them and they are terrified, or they're full of hate, or they're full of whatever preconceived thing it is. And they'll watch that guy walk past them just terrified. And a lot of times, hey, man, I like your Harley. That can start a conversation. That can start a relationship. That can start everything. And it's I cannot hate you because such and such hated you. I got to find out for myself who and what you are, for the most part. I think that deserves it.
And that's also one of the things I said at PROC, that you need to remember the number one lesson every prospect's taught. The very first thing they're taught is how to introduce themselves. If you stick your paw out there and introduce yourself properly, and you show that first part of respect, it solves 9/10 of every problem from that moment that you've met somebody on. Because you stuck your hand out to introduce yourself and acted like a grown man or a grown woman. And you showed either that person a respect or that person showing you respect. You show it back, because that's how it is. Respect is earned and given. That's how this works. And I was saying the same thing. And one of the things I said is quit talking about each other behind each other's back. That's cowardice. Quit talking shit about your brothers behind their back. I get guys and tell me all the time, oh, I don't like that guy for this reason, or I don't like that guy for that reason. And I tell them, look, I don't care why you don't like them. Until they've done something to me to give me a reason not to like them, I fucking love them. It's that simple. I don't play those games. And guys will have their reasons, and that's their reasons and their reasons alone. It's not my reason. I give my elders the reverence and respect they deserve. Why? Because I'm on their coattails. I have to join their club. That was one of the other messages I put out. Be a part of the solution, not part of the problem. If you want your lifestyle to get better, go out, find the knowledge. I had to go find it myself. I had a prospect ask me today. He said, bro, what did you learn as a prospect? And I said, nothing. You telling me you didn't learn nothing as a prospect? I said, well, not after 19 years in another club. I said, but the minute I earned my way enough to get patched out, this last 2.5 years as a full patch member, almost 3 years as a full patch member, has been nothing but an education. And, I found out a bunch of things that I knew, but didn't know the whole story. Or I thought I knew, and boy, was I wrong. And it's okay to be like that. You have to accept the education. We don't get the knowledge and the experience without that time, without that education.
Stop breathing in the phone, OG. Keep talking, Shaggy.
I'm getting him all excited by throwing some facts out there. He's waiting. He's gonna follow it up with some more powerful shit. That's why I love OG Weasel and Prophet and Big Bone. We just throw it out there like it's supposed to be. But that's the fact of it, man. You got to go out there and do it yourself. And for the support club guys, you guys can do some of that too, but use the term that was used with me quite a few times last week, and was big brother. That fucked me up, man. Because on the white side, you call somebody big brother, that means they're feds. There's thugs. There's the cops. Big brother's watching. That's the government. And I was kept saying, okay, that's the third term. But there's a few times like, hey, big brother. I'm like, oh, don't call me anything but that, man. You could call me an asshole. I've been happy with that. But that's the other thing. I got an education last weekend too. Some of the terms that are used, 99% is not used on the white side. It's 1% club, OMC, family club, 3-piece patch, whatever. And so you gotta, especially if you're going to be the guy speaking, and like OG Weseal said earlier, you got to be legit. You can't be that guy that Googled everything and go up there and just spew a bunch of shit. I took those 2 days to go down there early so I can sit back and learn myself. So I can sit back and listen. So when I got up there to speak to these guys, I wasn't just telling them how fucked up they were. I was telling them, you're not fucked up. You're just misinformed. And here's the right thing. And there were 1% club, the 1% club, and 1% sitting back there too. And, I think it should have been more 1%ers sitting back there, just besides just the 1% club. All the black 1% clubs should have been represented because there were black clubs that represented those sets. And it's just like income. All used to be pretty much all the 1% clubs and all the other clubs that come together for that. It takes the community and the village to make the community and village better. So all need to participate in it, especially something as important as the PROC. And the one thing I kept hearing is, we want education, but nobody will give it to us. Well, nobody gives you shit in this lifestyle. You have to go out and earn it. You got to go out and find it and dig for it. If you have to have the passion to do it. And if you don't, you're never going to know anything, and you're going to be a sheep. And this lifestyle is about predator and prey, and I'm always hungry, and I'm a meat eater.
You okay, OG? You just breathing?
Let me see what's going on. But first of all, let me break it out. That's my Darth Vader thing. But check it out. I just got into Atlanta, so I was moving all this last hour while we was talking. When Dragon called me at 7:40, I literally had just touched down and jumped in a rental car. So I'm just explaining my movements. But yeah, we got the whole Darth Vader thing going on, but I'm settled now.
Well, guys, listen, we've been at this an hour. I absolutely appreciate you guys, but I don't think people are going to watch us much longer than this.
You don't think so? You want to put some money on it?
Well, they'll watch during the live, but during the replay, they won't, and that's why
It's
So
more
anyway,
important when it's live.
Shaggy, any final words from you, sir?
Yes. Just briefly, if Miss Foxy's watching or if she watches this later, I had just a couple recommendations for PROC to make it a better, more successful thing, which is when you told me about they use the board up there. You've got 4 or 5 guys, 6 guys up there, and they all speak for about 10, 15, 20 minutes apiece. It's all crammed on Saturday. Like me and Big Ball jumping from the vice presidents and presidents over to the sergeant arm, and kind of jumped around trying to be able to give as much advice and education as we could between the deals that they had going on. Utilize all day Friday. People are getting there, like I was told, like Tuesday, Wednesday, and man, the party really starts on Wednesday and Thursday. Make it more educational, where you give some of these speakers you have coming down to speak an hour or 2 hours to spend with a large crowd. And there's more of a question and answer back and forth. There's more of a better learning, instead of just slamming them with education. They walk away so overwhelmed with stuff that they don't retain any of it. Being a former Navy instructor, that's one of the things we've been taught. You teach things in phases, that way you don't overwhelm the student. And basically, I was seeing a lot of great stuff being said, but man, it was so hard for everybody to retain. And so, kind of, if you utilize that Friday for an all-day session, I think people get more out of it, and if it'll help it, so be it. And I had a great time, and it was fun, and I would definitely do it again. At this time, I hope I get a list of the things I can't say, so I don't say them.
Nah,
faggot.
Oh my gosh, we got to bleep that out. So what about you? What about you, OG? You got something to say?
Well, if Foxy is listening, or if the work can get back to her, my recommendation for 2024 is that we get the all-star team on there. Let's get Bone, Bishop, Shaggy. Let's get you, Dragon. Let's get myself. Let's get some real 100% thorough bikers to the table on that main stage, and let us just bring it raw. Okay, let's just go ahead and line this up right now and say 2024, we're bringing in old school, and we're going to get 200 plus years of knowledge on the table. And I think that
I had made the comment that I was going to bring some of the old school, older white guy 1%ers with me too. I was going to talk with them throughout the year.
Well, bring some young ones too.
Yeah, nice mix of everybody.
Yeah.
We all got our own opinions, man. And let me tell you something.
Yes.
My young ones, I don't carry enough bail money for them. And if we're going to be in Indianapolis would be all right. I mean, you just throw them out in the cornfield, it's fine.
Well, there you have it. So, Boxy, the word is official. I'm putting it out there. I'm sure the brothers would get full buy-in on this one from the brothers. So you think about that. But other than that, if you was at the PROC this weekend and you didn't walk away with nothing from what I'm hearing, then shame on you. And if you didn't walk away with something that you're going to apply when you get back, you might as well didn't even go to this event this year. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, listen, guys, I want to thank you. I got to go run and go bleep that stuff out that Shaggy said. Lord have mercy. Anyway,
welcome
listen,
to my lifestyle.
I love you guys for who you are and for being hardcore brothers on two wheels. You guys enrich my life knowing you both. You OG Weasel and you Shaggy. It was so good to meet you and your wife and spend time with you. It was
absolutely my honor.
All the years we've spent on the phone, talking to each other, just to hang out with you was just incredible. I want to hang out with you some more, man. It was so cool. And OG, I now I know you're here in Atlanta, man. I want to see you. I didn't get to see you last week week before last when you were here. So hopefully I get to see you before you get out of here. But
yeah. I mean, when I'm here one day, I'm out tomorrow night, so just running in and out on business.
Yeah, so the Dragon's Lair is here, bro. It's not going anywhere. Get your
right.
See, y'all take me places. So anyway, I love y'all too.
I'm here for the violence.
You're right. I love you too, man. I'll check you guys out. Thank you so much for being with me, and I'm gonna take the folks out of here. Y'all take care. All right.
Thanks for being the brother you are.
Thank you, Shaggy.
Good
All
stuff.
right. Take care. Oh man. It's just you learn so much with these guys. I am just so blessed to know these guys and be able to hang out with them. I wanted to ask Shaggy. He's doing something with NCOC, and I forgot to ask him about that. So maybe we can have him come back on and tell you about the NCOC meeting that's coming up in February. He might want to talk about that. Anyway, listen, we are 7 minutes over the time, and so don't want to keep you too long after this, but I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. This is our first roundtable in the new year, so that is really, really cool. Man, if you want to be on the roundtable, please send me whatever you have at blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com. If you want to be on the roundtable, love to have you on the roundtable to talk about whatever you want to talk about. So this is me, whatever motorcycle your club in, 99%, 1%, RC, MM, whatever the case. If you want to talk, you want people to know about you, your club or whatever, let me know. And we will absolutely, blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com, blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com. Hey man, check us out. Let me know. And it's on like a chicken bone. We got you coming. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the follow button and the notification bell. Black Dragon Biker TV can be found on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. So please check us out on those places. Make sure to order my books, Prospects Bible, Sergeant at Arms Bible, President's Bible, Public Relations Officer's Bible, and Prospects Bible for women's motorcycle clubs. You can get them from Kindle, Amazon. The Prospects Bible is on audio, so Audible, and the President's Bible will be up there in about 2 weeks. And you can also get it from blackdragonsgear.com. The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos is our daily podcast, so check us out on the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos. Our Discord link is in the description box below, and I'm fumbling around playing with starting a Facebook group. So if you guys want to be in a Facebook group, please let me know in the comment section before. I'm going to need some folks to help me run it, but I'm thinking about doing a Facebook group. So that's all of the stuff to catch you guys up. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the first show in the new year. Thank you so much, Uncle Shaggy, 1%er, Invader Shaggy, 1%er. And thank you so much, OG Weasel. Hardcore OGs that we had tonight. Love them, brothers. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in and get skinny. Hey, subscribers. Whenever you are in Macon, Georgia, you have to get over to my Motorcycle Club Brothers Cigar Lounge. Haley's Cigar Lounge on Ingleside Avenue has a night or several nights just right for you. Monday night football kicks off the week. Wednesday is whiskey night. Thursday, ladies night. Saturdays are make your night. And wrapping up the weekend, it's Sunday football. Haley's is closed on Tuesdays. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere at Haley's. Hang out at the bar or outside on the patio. They can also host your small events. Haley's Cigar Lounge, 2308 Ingleside Avenue in Macon, Georgia. Be sure to tell them Black Dragon sent you.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospect's Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.
Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.